The police department is right up on this hill, the Louisville Police Department, the government building. It's McCaslin Boulevard, and I believe it's pronounced Via Apia Way. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong on that, but that's the intersection, and then that is the neighborhood just beyond the intersection that is completely engulfed in flames right now. I cannot tell, but I think the government complex and the police department also may have gone up in flames earlier tonight, because this field that we're standing in is just a charred field of grass. And then over here, Drew, if you can pan to the left, sorry about all the panning and tilting, but you've got firefighters here. You can see the red and blue, or the red and orange and white flashing lights, and they're spraying fire on those homes right over there. I believe this is the Cherrywood subdivision. They're spraying water on those homes. I may have said fire, spraying water on those homes to try to save those. And then just beyond them, there are homes on fire beyond them in the background. So it's a catastrophic scene here, and it's just ongoing this evening. I will say that the winds have completely died down now. We're just getting a light breeze. So this is playing in the favor of the firefighters at this point. We've been dealing with incredibly gusty winds today, as you've been reporting on. And so right now we're watching, I believe, homes, possibly trees and shrubs going up in flames right there on that ridge line. And again, this is just beyond, this is across Via Apia Way and McCaslin Boulevard, right near the Louisville Police Department and the governmental complex here in Louisville.
Russell, one thing I want to add, and I don't know if it has changed, but at that press conference at 5 o'clock, they said that there had been rumors, false rumors, that the Louisville Police Department had burned, and that at the time that was not true. So I believe that is what the Louisville Police Chief said at that. I hope I'm not mistaken, but unless perhaps something unfortunately has changed, but at least that was the case at the time. And right near there, in fact,
yeah,
Russell,
I'm not sure.
I was just going to say,
I would agree with you. I would agree with everything you just said. I cannot tell from this vantage point if I'm looking through the shell of a building here, because I can almost see right through it. So if that is indeed the police department, then it has perhaps been lost in this fire as well. And then there's a fire sort of in the foreground of the police department and the governmental complex here that appears to be burning in the shrubs. But if that is the building, if that's the police department, it is gone. Or at least there's only a shell left. It's incredible.
Hear from the police chief earlier saying that they had watched the flames come close and they did have to evacuate.
Yeah. In fact, this area not far from there was the very first area that my family and I called home when we moved to the Denver area 5 years ago, just right through those flames. So I know those people in that area well, and my heart breaks for every single one of them. And this is being played out multiple times all across Boulder County right now. But as we continue to look for good news in this, Russell has said that the winds have all but died down.
News.
It's incredible news. It doesn't change the destruction that has already happened, obviously, but there is a chance that with these winds gone, that the destruction will be stemmed, will be stopped, and that we can stop the march of these flames in Boulder County. Let's keep our fingers crossed that is the case tonight.
So far, we've seen most of the devastation in Superior, so it is shocking to see it now moving into Louisville.
And there's such a very fine line of, sometimes you don't know whether you're in Superior, Lafayette, Broomfield, Louisville. It's all sort of just right there. Russell, back to you.
Yeah, we just heard from one of our employees at Denver 7 who lives in Louisville, and he believes that's the rec center that was lost in this fire, not the police department, although I believe they sit adjacent to each other perhaps. But again, just incredible destruction as we're watching on this ridgeline here. And I mean, from west to east, everything is burning. And then you pan over even further to the east, and there's another neighborhood that's on fire. And there's a lot of emergency personnel. I don't know if you can see that in the distance, but there's at least one fire engine there. There's a fire engine. I'm counting at least 1, 2, 3, 4 in the distance. So they're working. They're trying. They're trying to manage this thing. They're trying to get it under control, but they're up against just an enormous amount of destruction and a fire that's still burning out of control.
Yeah, I think right where you are, it's like the rec center. There's a skate park there, the municipal courts, the police department, all right in there to give people an idea of where we're looking at, because it's becoming nearly impossible, Russell, to figure out where any of these shots are, because they all are just awful and devastating and large and so destructive.
And I have a feeling, you know, it won't be until tomorrow morning when it's sunlight and, you know, the fires are out, or hopefully they're out, that we'll get an idea of just what is burned and the devastation that we're actually looking at. Because, as you said, it's just hard to tell from one building to the next what it is we're exactly seeing, but we could tell we're seeing neighborhoods. This is, you know, these are neighborhoods and buildings, and this is, you know, just this is suburbia. And so it is just devastating to watch it continue to move and to continue to get worse. Good news is, as Russell said, winds have died down.